All right, hello and welcome to the introduction to FastTrack Your Business with me, Smriti Goswami. I'm a Joy of Business Facilitator. I'm also a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness and a Right Voice for You facilitator and a Talk to the Entities certified facilitator. And I also facilitate the Talk to the Entities intermediate classes. Each of these classes that I facilitate have really contributed to me and especially in the creation of my life. I'm a qualified pilot, and there was a moment in time when I, at that moment, could not continue with like taking up a job, and because my kids were really small, and even though I'd gone all out to go ahead with the training and getting my flying license and everything, I had to let go of it, and that wasn't a fun energy, but it was also a choice that I made, mainly because of my kids. Um, it wasn't something that was fun for me, but I wouldn't change it or regret. I don't regret it at all, and I wouldn't change it absolutely not, like for anything at all. Now, somewhere I was still looking for answers that, okay, I did all this, I attended all these trainings and stuff, I managed to get my license, yet I'm not choosing flying. What exactly is going on? So I was really searching for answers, and somewhere my life was literally like, on autopilot. If you looking at using the flying terms, yeah, my life was mostly on autopilot, where it was just as if somebody else was leading my life for me or taking decisions for me or choosing for me. And somewhere I never felt in charge of my life. And when I was like literally asking more questions and wondering, like, there has to be so much more to my life than what I'm choosing at this moment. And I was really asking a lot of questions, and I got interested in numerology because I was like, okay, if I learn about numbers and stuff, maybe I would get some answers to what exactly is happening in my life and why are certain things showing up the way they are. And then I also dabbled a bit in tarot card readings and stuff, not necessarily to make it a profession or to even do readings for people, but more from a space of trying to figure out what's going on, like, trying to understand myself. And that's when I came across Access Consciousness, and something about it just sort of, I just felt so connected because I felt um, this is a space where they don't want you to fit into any molds, any archetypes. They don't want you to behave in a particular way or be very ritualistic about something. Like, you don't have to take bath in the morning and then go ahead and chant your mantras and things. It's just more about a space of choosing whenever you want, more from a space of ease and space of relaxation instead of a space of fear where if you don't do this properly, things will not work out. It wasn't ever like that. And I really connected with that because I'm not ritualistic at all. And I mean, it's just something I just don't connect with it. It's anything that I have to do is not fun for me. Anything that I choose to do because I want to do it is what's fun for me. So that's how things were showing up in my life. And I started exploring more and more in Access. Now, when you're looking at, like, a lot of people get into Access because they're trying to sort out something in their lives. I don't think I had any issues or any problems. My life was good, yet it was on autopilot. So that is one thing that I wanted to change. But I do not think there's anything wrong with me as such that needed to change. I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm not confusing you guys, but that's the space that I was in at that moment. So when I was attending classes, one class after another, because it was just so fascinating, the things that I was learning, even though all these things are there in front of us, but when the way in which Access explains everything, it was just so beautiful. And I could just resonate with a lot of things. And the best part was, after every class that I would attend, I would feel just so relaxed. I felt so there was just so much of space, and I just felt so light. And I was like, so, like, suddenly I had friends who would ask me, like, you just seem to be so happy, Kriti. What are you up to? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing really. I'm just attending these classes and it's just giving me a space of relaxation and a space of being that nothing else has ever given me. And then I went through a space of where there were certain people in my life, certain people I called friends, who were also my mentors, who chose to gaslight and be a weird energy. At that moment, it was really, really difficult for me to deal with it. But the more, so all I did was I just kept choosing more and more classes because that was the only space that was giving me a sense of self that nothing else was. And that was the only way I could deal with all the gaslighting that was showing up. And it was very massive, huge gaslighting. And I don't want to get into that to explain that. But today, I'm really grateful that all those things showed up the way they did. Because if I hadn't had to deal with all the gaslighting and things with certain friends, I might not have chosen so much in my life. So sometimes, there are certain things that you feel, oh my God, what the hell is happening? Especially when you feel your whole life is crumbling and things are just going, downhill and nothing seems to be working. That's the time universe is actually preparing you for choosing so much more for yourself. So if you look at a diamond, okay? The diamond has so much of shine and it just shines brilliantly. But see where it comes from also and how much it needs to be polished and for it to shine the way it is. So that's what, when you start acknowledging who you are and when you start seeing that there's so much more to you than just the complacent space that you're choosing to live from, you'll realize that there is nothing stopping you from choosing and creating a more dynamic life than what you have been choosing at this moment. There is so much more to choose, so much more to create. The world is your oyster. Why would you just stop yourself right here? Right? So most of us keep focusing on, oh, so and so did this to me, so and so said this to me, my family is not letting me choose more, or they're being a weird energy, or I have so much of money issues, and so on and so forth. And also, my health does not allow. But all these issues that are showing up and cropping up are mostly self-sabotaging patterns which we create for ourselves because somewhere we feel it's like we are protecting ourselves. So self-sabotage is also a way to protect ourselves. I did this call yesterday and I will put up the recordings maybe today sometime. So do go through that because we spoke about a lot of interesting stuff there and I don't want to get into that again. But so when you're looking at creating a life from, say, a zero-sum reality or a zero-sum game, what exactly do you mean by zero-sum game? It is like where you, it's like when you're playing a game where nobody's hurt. Nobody wins, nothing is won, nothing is lost. Okay? Nothing is different, nothing is changed. There's no magic, no greatness of you because everything is designed to fit into mediocrity or middle ground. And that's where, when you're creating a life from that particular space, that does not allow anything to change. So basically, what you're doing is you're maintaining the balance in life and relationships to maintain the zero sum of reality, which does not allow you to out create anything or anyone because you're more focused on fitting in with the people you're connecting with or interacting with. And if they are not choosing more in life, then you feel even if you're doing one little bit better than them, you have arrived and you don't really need to choose so much more. So a lot of times we're not even willing to be the brilliance of us because it's important for us to maintain the mediocrity or be the zero-sum reality, zero-sum game of reality, so that nobody else, so that we don't lose people. And now, why are we doing that? Because you know what? When you start living to your full potential, your full potency, that makes a lot of people very, very uncomfortable. So they will do whatever they can to pull you down so that they don't have to step up also. Because when you're being everything that you are actually inviting others to see that and realize and recognize that, hey, they have it in them too, and they can choose to be that space too. But somewhere they are just so busy and so comfortable in their cocoon that it's an effort for them to choose something else. So because they're choosing to be in their, to remain in their cocoon of comfort zone, they want you to remain the same too. So that's where, when we end up creating that zero-sum game for reality for ourselves, and what's the value of that? It's like constantly living in judgment rather than possibility. It's like about not choosing more in your relationships, in your life. It's just about choosing to just be the same as everyone else, and nothing changes. Nothing, absolutely nothing changes in your life. Now, what's the value of that? Is it even creating anything for you? Now, like as humanoids, we are very, very humanoids are mostly conforming to make everyone else comfortable around us. But what if you actually chose to reverse that? Like if you, the invitation for this particular call, not this call, but for the fast track your business, is like, if you learn to be as demanding as the ocean or as uncomfortable as the wind, what would you bring into existence or change out of existence? It's like, you know how a tsunami is. The tsunami is not worried about who, or a huge thunderstorm or whatever. It's not worried about who it's going to affect. It's just a force of nature, which is just being itself. Yes, it destroys a lot, but it also creates something new out of it, right? It is just being itself. It's not waiting. It's not toning itself down so that others around it should not be heard. It's just moving and being that force and allowing everything uh, to either be created or destroyed or whatever. And it has no point of view. So everywhere you're not willing to be that force, because each one of us have that potency, we have that power, but we keep on toning it down because, you know, what if, because we can perceive how uncomfortable others start becoming around us. So the best way to deal with that awareness is to tone ourselves down. So this particular call or the series of this business mentorship is about inviting you to step out of your comfort zone. It's about inviting you to access the level of potency and awareness and energy that each one of you have, and not be safe or try not, or everywhere you are trying to be not scary. Be willing to step up, be willing to be as scary as you can be for people around you. It's okay. You don't have to make them comfortable. You being too much is a space of it's not a comfortable space for most people, but you being too much is what the world requires. It can, that's when you are actually creating more possibilities. You're not here in this world to be living your life from a zero-sum reality, right? You're here to be and do everything that you can be. When you look at nature, let's say, for example, you go to a garden and you look at, say, rose bushes and stuff, each flower is blooming to its best possible capacity. It's not saying, oh, this flower is blooming more, so this particular flower rose is not going to like it, so I need to be, I don't need to bloom so much, or I need to fade the colors and not be that bright and pretty because the other flowers around me will not be comfortable. No, everything is just blooming. All the flowers are blooming to the best possible capacity. When you look at nature, when you look at animals, they're just being everything they can be, right? So where are we as humans choosing to limit everything that we can be? Okay. So where are you trying to make yourself fit rather than being that leader that inspires new realities? Everywhere you're looking at invalidating all your capacities and potency, please just let this go. Now, we'll be talking a lot about this. We'll be talking about, so FastTrack Your Business is something that I created about 4-5 years ago. And this, I had to take permission from Access because a lot of Access tools I use in this particular call. It's about being very present with each of the participants. It's about motivating you, cajoling you, pushing you to jump off the cliff, get moving, for you to choose to the best of your potency and potential. It's about, it's like a booster dose of calls every Monday morning with me to set the tone for your week. So it's like, most people dread waking up in the morning and then going to office and then they're like, oh my God, these deadlines are to be met. But what if in the morning, before you even leave for your work, you attend a call which will push you to your limits, which will motivate you, invite you, like, okay, wow, I have this whole week ahead of me to go ahead and create and choose a far greater life than what I'm willing or giving myself permission to choose right now. There are a lot of people who have attended these calls and classes, this particular mentorship series over the period of years, and a lot has shifted for them, lots. So I will take you through what all it is, what all we have to offer. I'll just show you my website and all the different things. And yeah, let me just do that first. Before that, does anyone have any questions? Let me take a few questions before that. Does anyone have any questions? Anything you'd like to know? Anything you'd like to share? Just unmute, speak, raise your hands. Over. Okay. Hi, Hekul. Good to see you. Hi, Jatinder and Shalu. Hi. All right. So let me first share. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Share screen. Okay. Just a minute. It's not.
Jatinder is asking, what is the queue?
Sorry, what did I do? Sorry, what are you saying?
Jatinder is asking this question, what is the queue? I'm not getting the question.
No, I am asking, somebody is asking something, then I am asking what is the question.
Okay.
Oh, the question is, if you have any questions, that's all I was asking. If you have anything to share, any questions or anything, we just expand. All right. So can you see me?
Yes.
We can see you,
All right.
not the screen.
You can't see the screen? Can you see the
No,
screen?
no,
No.
screen is not shared yet.
Oh, okay, I did share it, but okay, can I have this?
I have a question, Simriti.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like with this class, if we are not into any business, what it is called, but still we are in the business of running our family, running our life. Running our lives very smoothly and with ease is also a business, I feel.
Yeah.
So will it be beneficial for people who are not into any business, but they would like to have some contribution for their life's business, how to carry your life?
So absolutely. So creation of your life is also your business. All right. So this is about showing up for yourself in your life. It's about allowing a lot of other possibilities to show up in your life. It's about choosing so much more in life. So it's not, you don't really need to have a business, but what you never know, you might realize that you have so much of talents and abilities that you will, before the end of this whole 6-month series, you might have maybe 2 businesses already in place.
See, since long I'm trying to have my own personal business.
Yes.
It's not created yet. Sometimes then, with these classes only I get this. Why do you differentiate between your husband's money and your money? Somewhere your energy is involved, that he's creating money and he's giving you. That is also you are creating money.
Yeah.
So that settles me down.
Yeah.
Yet, it's been years that I would like to have my own personal incomes. And it's not happening.
What's stopping you?
Nothing is stopping me. Nothing can stop me. Even I'm not stopping myself. Even I'm not stopping myself.
So you said it's not happening. So what's stopping it from happening?
I wonder what that I'm not getting. What is it?
So that's exactly what we'll be talking about in this particular calls. That's going to be my invitation for you to recognize what you are capable of doing, what are the capacities and potencies you have, things that you haven't even thought about, is what I'll be pulling out of you. It's like, sometimes there are people who can see the brilliance of you, especially when you're not willing to see that about yourself. So allow me that space. Allow me to pull out that brilliance for you to recognize all that you can actually be, do, and create in your world. And yes, your husband is creating money, and that is also somewhere you are also contributing to it. Your energy and your presence is contributing to it. And how does it get any better? Be willing to receive. You don't have to stop receiving just because you're also choosing to create your own source of income. What if you can have it all? You can have all the resources that your husband is creating, and you can also contribute to him by creating so many more new revenue streams. Right? It does not.
Yeah, he is getting more revenue streams one after the other. So maybe somewhere I have in this mind, I am lazy. I really don't like to work, get the tension and all those things. So maybe I'm creating more revenue streams for him with these classes. These classes, my husband says, you keep on doing the classes, I will give the money. You do the classes, I create more. So
Yeah,
I said, okay.
of course, the energy and space that you're being and whatever you're clearing in your space is somewhere definitely contributing to him, because I see the same, even where my husband is concerned, I see him creating so much more and having so much more ease with money and everything. The more clearings that I do for myself, it does affect him. But it's just about, you need to recognize whenever you're working on yourself, your whole family starts changing. And now, what if you can actually have so much more?
Yeah, my question is really, what can I do to create my, somewhere I feel like I should be creating money. I should have a business, my personal business. When I say my personal business, then everyone points out, where are you differentiating from your husband's business, my business, his business? So it is there.
So, cool, Shalu, we will talk about it. Let me just quickly take you guys through what the program has to offer, and then we'll come back to your question. And thank you for this question, because there's so much more we can discuss about it. So, SmritiGoswami.com, it opens onto this page only, and this is all about, a lot of us have those, we have some really brilliant ideas where we're looking to really, really create so much, and we have an awareness of what we know is possible in the world. And sometimes we don't know how to start. So we have these cool, brilliant ideas, and we live those ideas in our head, and then that's it. It just goes down the drain. Beyond that, nothing comes to fruition. So this particular business mentorship is your invitation to actually actualize those business ideas, to set them in, like, create possibilities with them, to create business possibilities with them, for you to leap, for you to soar, for you to choose so much more than what you were even envisioning, right? So this is a 6 month mentorship. It is one call with me every week, Monday morning by 7:40 a.m. So we start off with that. Yes, it is a commitment to wake up early in the morning and be here, but believe you me, that 1 hour call makes a lot of difference. So who is this particular program for? It's for coaches, practitioners, health healers, entrepreneurs, people looking to set up their businesses, people who have big businesses, people who have small businesses. It's like anyone willing to create more numerous revenue streams or committed to growing and expanding their business. It's also about introducing you to big business energy, where you are looking at, creating not just for yourself, but for the whole world as such. It's about thinking and choosing so much bigger for yourself than what you're even giving yourself permission to. Things that you wouldn't even have imagined. It's about acknowledging that you have the capacity and the potency and the potential to choose so much more. Now, what exactly? So it's like, were you ever taught to launch your business? Like, you have business ideas, but how many of you actually kill those business ideas because you don't even know how to launch yourself, or you don't even know where to start from, or what exactly is missing? Sometimes there are a lot of missing links where you just don't know how to even get started. And a lot of us keep waiting to be perfect before we can, and have everything in place before we can choose something else. So these calls would really contribute to that. It's about inviting you to create, ask questions, create from more possibilities. It's about expanding what the brilliant ideas that you have, and also expanding, acknowledging and choosing a different way of creating your business, not just with what you have decided. Sometimes, it's like you have these ideas, but because you don't have access to movers who can actually go ahead and implement those ideas in place, sometimes those ideas fizzle out. So things like that, we'll be discussing about a lot of things. There are also going to be a lot of home plays for you. It'll push you to the limits. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There are going to be a lot of home plays. There'll be a lot of clearings. There'll be a lot of stuff, and a lot of information throughout the business mentorship. Now, a lot of us do not even acknowledge our brilliance. Okay, we just keep shying away from acknowledging all our talents and abilities, and but it's about inviting you to see the brilliance of you and choosing so much more for yourself. We'll be talking about the pragmatics of business. It's like, how creating a business does not have to be hard work. It's about also being willing to engage with the elementals, with the molecules. It's about creating a lot of energy plays to create possibilities for yourself. We'll be talking about a lot of that. We'll be talking about how to create a successful business. It's like, it's not about fitting a mold or an archetype. It's not about fitting in there. It's about connecting with your business energetically and talking to your business, and learning to identify where all you're stuck, or what is it that's keeping certain issues at play and things are not moving, and how we are learning where we are self-sabotaging and stopping our own growth. So we'll be talking a lot about that. It's definitely about creating a lot more income. It's about definitely much more than what you'll be investing here. It's about being willing to create so much more. So we'll be talking a lot about creation of money, different methods of creation of money, different home plays for that, and for also inviting numerous revenue streams. And getting on the fast track means creating greater, means getting out of your comfort zone into action. So no matter where you are, whether you have a business, whether you don't have a business, whether you already, whatever, it's about willing to explore all the uncharted territories to actualize more for yourself. And for you to really, it's like, how will you go to the gym? You know what all the exercises, you know what to do. But it always helps when there's a gym instructor who will guide you at that moment, who would tell you, okay, now 10 steps of this, 20 steps of this, and so on. Here, I will not be telling you what steps to take, but I will be asking you questions so that you become aware of what is required next. And those questions really, really contribute, right? No more avoiding, no more excuses, and it's now the time to leap. So we'll be covering all these topics. So each week there'll be a topic where it'll be like a masterclass sort of thing, where I will talk about a particular topic or two topics or whatever. I'll explain everything to you in that particular week. The next week would be, let me just cover the topics and then we'll talk about how it will be created. So extrapolating your brilliant business ideas into possibilities, like all of us have brilliant ideas, but how do we actualize it? We'll be talking about that. And sometimes those ideas are not just enough for you to create business with it. So how to extrapolate or create more from that idea and create more possibilities from that. We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about targets versus goals, communicating with your business, who's your target audience, monetizing your products or services. We all are so brilliant at giving information or doing things for people, but we forget to ask for the money. So we'll be talking about how to monetize your products and services, art of effortless creations. We all have very amazing creative ideas, but we don't know how to, but sometimes it's like quite a bit of effort to even put it out in place. So we'll be talking a lot about allowing it to be absolutely effortless, and marketing versus being an invitation to your business. We'll be moving away from the structured way of marketing and showcasing how actually you can be an invitation to creating a greater, more dynamic business. And sometimes it's like, is your business even visible enough? So where are you limiting your business? Where are you not allowing your business to be visible? How are you limiting it? We're talking a lot about all of those things. And as typical humanoids, we are so great at creating everything, being everything for everyone else, doing everything for everyone else, but we forget to receive. And then we wonder, hey, I have such brilliant ideas, I'm doing so much, but why am I not being paid enough? Or why am I not receiving anything? How to actually start receiving from your business. We'll be talking a lot about that, and then generating money with ease, minimizing your distractions, creating numerous revenue streams. Each one of us is talented beyond what we have given ourselves permission to even acknowledge. So when you start, you realize there'll be so many talents and abilities that each one of you has as we progress through these calls. And you'll be like, wow, I never thought of this. I thought this was just random stuff, but I can create so much more, and I can actually have so many more revenue streams. So it's more about that. And very important, this particular call is all about also choosing to be unstoppable. So it's not just your business we'll be working on you as a person, wherever you have been stopping yourself, where you've been choosing to live in that zero-sum game reality, where you're not willing to really, really step up. That choosing to be unstoppable is something that is very close to my heart, and because I know how many people have tried to stop me from doing so many things, that choosing to be that energy of being unstoppable is something I would really, really focus on. It's like, I'm choosing so much more in life, universe. Show me the possibilities. Let's go. Let's just go. Creating beyond competition. It's like how when we perceive competition, the first thought is, okay, let me move away. Let this person go ahead with whatever. This person is competing so much and is creating that whole environment of unease. Let me step away. Stepping away is easiest thing to do, right? But when you perceive competition, acknowledge that, wow, somebody is actually choosing to admire what I have and is acknowledging my greatness, and that's why they're choosing to compete with me. So first of all, you start off with that. And just because somebody is competing does not mean you need to give way. what if you can use that to your advantage and turn it up even more and choose so much more for yourself and create so much more? Sometimes it's like a reality check, like, hold on, am I getting complacent? Okay, what else is there for me to choose? And just go ahead with that. And then, are you even demanding big enough? You know, sometimes things are showing up the way they're showing up in our life because we're not even asking for more. So it's more about choosing to create so much more, choose so much more, be so much more in life, and demand so much more for yourselves. And then we'll be talking about launching your business. It's like, definitely, we've already spoken about it. And then business and the finance essentials, building your pro team, how to create a team, what are the things that you require in your team, and all our resistance to actually having a team. And then we'll be talking about personal branding, how you can literally launch yourself and showcase yourself. And very important, how to be the leader that you truly are. How many of us actually keep resisting that, and we don't even see ourselves in those leadership roles because we've always throughout our life been told what to do. But if you were in charge and you were being the leader of your life, what all things would you choose? And if you had to lead a team, what invitation would you be? How can you lead by example, and how can you inspire people? It'll be all about that. Now, what's included is a total of 26 calls, one call each week for the next 6 months. The first week would be, so week number 1 would be a masterclass where we'll be talking about different action tasks. We'll be talking about certain information. Let's take, for example, if it's a topic on money. So we'll be talking about different ways of creation of money, what is required, what are the tools you need to implement, what are the different things to keep in mind, and all the action plans and stuff and things. So we'll be discussing everything about creation of money on that particular first week. The second week would be group facilitation, where we'll be taking on your questions, and we'll see where you are at and what is it that's stopping you and keeping you stuck, and how to outcreate that, and how much of those tools that we've spoken about you've implemented throughout the week, and what are the difficulties you're facing, what are the challenges you're facing, and how to outcreate that, and how to ask questions. And basically, it's about receiving support. It's about outcreating all that funk in your world. We'll be talking about the third week would be energy pools, which will plus a lot of questions. Again, it'll be a combination of the group facilitation and the masterclass plus the energy pool. So it won't just only be energy pools, because energy pool would be just about a 10-15 minute thing. But beyond that, it will be a combination of the masterclass as well as the group facilitation. So we'll do energy pools. Sometimes it'll be for money, depending on whatever that week we are discussing. So it'll be either about money, it's about creating big business energies, it's be about creating great relationships, numerous revenue streams, whatever is showing up at that moment, we'll be talking about that. And then the last week, fourth week, would be a one-on-one facilitation with me. So each one of you would get a chance to be facilitated, like a one-on-one facilitation. Now, you all will be part of this private Facebook group where we will be going live every week, right? So all these calls will be going live on that Facebook group, right? So that you have that in place. And that one-on-one facilitation is when only that person will be on that call with me. It'll be live streamed to our group. So you can watch it and you can write your answers maybe in a question form. But beyond that, no more interaction, and maybe we can incorporate those questions that you've written in that particular call, but it'll be solely for that person who's being facilitated. So depending on the number of people who have signed up, it can be either 2 or 3 one-on-one facilitations in that particular week. Okay. And then, of course, you'll all be part of one private Facebook group where you can post your questions, you can ask, and you can also, it's about encouraging each other to co-create. It's about encouraging each other to go ahead, to share all their wins, share their fears, to ask questions. It'll be all about that. And you'll be getting the audio replays and the PDFs. for all of this. There'll be, the PDFs would have the Homeplays and it'll also have clearings. We'll be doing a lot of clearings also, depending on every topic that we're discussing and whatever's showing up at that moment. And of course, there is a system in place, but it's not going to be just like only stuck with this. It will be improvising along the way based on whatever's showing up also. So just be prepared for that. All right, these are just the testimonials which you can read when you go through the website, go through smritigoswami.com. There, all the information is there, and about me, all the information about me. And now the dates are 2nd June to 24th of November, every Monday at 7:40 a.m. Enough time for you to get ready and go for your to your office and everything after that. So in case required, we can also start a bit earlier so that you all have, depending on the people who sign up and whatever's required. Now there are different methods of paying. Okay, the fee of this particular series, business mentorship, is 2 lakhs. Okay, which you have the option to pay it in monthly installments, which is of 33,333 per month. And you will have access to all the details and plays and the call till you're making the payments. The day the payment stops, then you will not have access to the ones you've not paid for. So just remember that. But the monthly payment scheme really works well for everyone, because I've tried to cater to everybody's whatever is ease for everyone, whichever kind of payment method that is ease for everyone. If you choose to make the payment in 2 installments, then you actually are able to receive a discount of 10,000 rupees. So the fee becomes 1,90,000. So then you can actually pay it in 2 installments of 95,000 each. And in case you want to make a one-time payment, then you actually getting a discount of 20,000 rupees. This is literally basically to encourage you to make a one-time payment so that it's easy for everyone, because I have to pay the royalty and stuff for this. So the one-time payment is 1,80,000. You get a 20,000 rupees discount for this. So this is what it is. This is what the payment is all about. If you are interested, you can just connect with me directly, or you can fill this thing and send it to me with a message that I'm interested, and this is my mode of payment. And then I can send you the links, or you can just directly go on this link and pay. But do send me this message so that I am aware that you are choosing. The mentorship calls will start on the 2nd of June. So we still have a lot of time. There is just an early bird pricing that I had put aside, which was today was the last day. But since I'm creating the call today, I'm just extending it by 1 more day. I can't offer that pricing beyond that, because that does not work for me beyond that. So that early bird pricing is 1,65,000 to be made upfront. You can have a credit card. If you want, you can choose to make a credit card payment for that, but it has to be, the entire payment has to be completed by 6, maximum by 6. So that is 1,65,000, which is almost like, it's like almost 35,000 less than the main amount. So it can't get any better than this. So just go ahead, choose whatever works for you. I'm going to send a recording of this, and just go ahead and choose. I'll see if I can maybe get you guys to talk to people who have attended some calls or the business mentorship before with me, and see what they have to say and how things showed up for them. Now, where is yeah, is Shalu there, or she's left, or cool? Does anyone else have any questions so far? Any one of you? Ethel, where are you? Okay. So when we were talking about, like when we are wondering, it's like when you're looking at creating something, but then there is this sense of, angst or anger or wrongness, and there's this underlying sense of unease. Sometimes it's like it's that weird feeling that's that no matter, it's like you're never ever going to be someone that's ever going to have ease with things, with creation, and every time you feel stuck and you feel everything is so much of effort, maybe it's because you don't have enough information, or maybe it's because there is a different way in which you are creating and maybe that's not working. So we'll be talking about a lot of stuff. When you're looking at creating a bigger business and things are not actualizing, it's because maybe you don't have the right tools or have access to the right kind of information. And when during these calls, we'll be talking about a whole lot of stuff where it's about, you might just say, hey, I was walking down that road, but sometimes the facilitator is able to pick up, okay, cool, you said that, but a lot of things were not really the way it is, or sometimes it's like you might just think it's some random thing that you're saying that I'm walking down the road, but the facilitator will be able to pick up, okay, why were you feeling alone? Or if you were walking in a place where there's a lot of water logging and stuff, okay, what are the emotions that are keeping you stuck? So there'll be different things. It's about all the Joy Business classes and calls are also about tapping, especially any of the classes with access is about tapping into everything that's keeping you stuck. So sometimes you ask them to know what's keeping us stuck. When I was attending these classes, as I mentioned earlier, I never thought there's anything wrong with me or I needed to sort out anything in my life. But somewhere, as all I knew was attending these classes and calls was giving me a sense of being and space that nothing else was giving. And slowly, I started realizing that, how much I'd been holding myself back. I didn't even know. I wasn't even aware. I didn't even realize. There were so many aspects of my life which I had sort of not even acknowledged about myself. There were so many talents and abilities that I had that I did not even acknowledge. There's so many things, how much you're psychically aware and how much do you start creating yourself based on what other people's agendas are about you, and how you just sort of become aware of all those energies being broadcasted by the electromagnetics that are actually designed to lock you into the structure of this particular reality. Okay, because it's like you're so aware energetically, and that seems to have an effect on what you're choosing. And that also has an effect on what you perceive as possible, or what you perceive as not possible, or what you perceive as real and true. And to a large degree, what you perceive as you. But that's not really being kind to you. And that's where we end up creating a lot of limitations around us. It's like we tend to align and agree with other people's agendas and their points of view, and we limit all that we can choose to be and create. So these are the calls which will actually we'll be talking about a lot of stuff. It's not, I've mentioned it's 1 hour, it might extend at times also. So we'll just follow the energy and just go ahead and create it based on that. Does anyone else have any questions? Anything you would like to ask about? Any one of you? No questions? Harishi, do you have any questions?
I would like to take a picture.
You can go ahead and take a picture, but cool. I don't think any one of you have any questions. Please do go through smritigoswami.com, see the content of the business mentorship. I'm really, really looking forward to this. This is literally, if you're really choosing to lead, this is my invitation for you to just come join. If it is calling out to you, there is something in there for you. So don't start analyzing things. Don't look at the pros and cons. Just leap if it's calling out to you. And if not, no worries. I'll always see you some other time for some other class or any other creations. So thank you so much. And The early bird pricing is only available till tomorrow evening. And after that, it will be the regular pricing that is mentioned in the website. And see you soon. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for each one of you.
Thank you. Thank
Did you click the pictures you wanted, Harishji?
you. Anybody wants to shop, please smile and then open your window. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.